everybody, it's Margaret Wallace-Duffy from the Better Together as One movement. And I am super excited because I have alongside me today my good friend and colleague, Monica Fascinetto Forcelli. She is the one in the Better Together as One concept. How are you, my friend?
Hey, Margaret, I love that introduction. I love it.
Well, I got to tell you, if you are a massage therapist, a physiotherapist, a chiropractor, an osteopath, or any manual therapist, stop scrolling right now and have a listen, because we have a very special guest on with us today, and we have a huge announcement to make that you are not going to want to miss. So for many of you, you will know the world-renowned James Waslewski, who's an author, an international lecturer, and I got to tell you, an incredible clinician and a good human being. James, welcome to the Better Together as One interview.
Margaret, I'm so happy to be part of this group. I've spent my whole career trying to align with chiropractors, PTs, athletic trainers, osteopaths in 15 countries around the world, and it is finally happening. When I watched look at your vision, your mission statement, and your vision for Better Together as One movement, I was blown away. It was like I wrote it myself, but I didn't, because it was just in my own heart. And so to be part of this group finally, and to be raising the bar, to be able to access people around the world without as much travel, costs, and expenses, I am beyond excited for this incredible, incredible opportunity.
Well, James, I got to tell you, our Better Together as One Learning Academy is officially launched, and you are our inaugural educator. We cannot think of a better person to kick this off. And this is just the beginning. For those of you that aren't familiar with what is Better Together as One movement, we are on a big mission to bring conventional and complementary healthcare professionals together to learn and grow from one another with one purpose: to be able to improve the outcomes of the patients we're treating, because we truly believe we're better together as one. And I know Monica, as the owner of the conferences, the One Concept Massage Therapy Conference in Canada and the US, you have always believed in collaboration and integrative and preventative health. And so we are so proud to be bringing James to the Better Together as One Learning Academy. We know this is just the beginning, but you know firsthand from an education perspective how the level by which this man teaches, and how we are now about to deliver it digitally online like you've never seen before.
Yeah, this has been the greatest opportunity for me. I got to work very close with James over the last month and a half, reworking a little bit of the manual and beefing it up so that our newer students who are not so familiar with James Waslewski could really get a good foundation of what his approach is and what he's trying to teach. It's been so amazing. One reason being is that, you know, we bring physical conference to our therapists, to our students, and that's where you get to see James firsthand for, 3-4 days, all intensive. And with the whole pandemic situation right now, it's a little more difficult. We have to be mindful. We have to be in a place where we can still learn, still be excited about our profession when we're able to go back to it. But how do you do that? Well, the Better Together as One Learning Academy is a great way to start. And having James be our very first integrative healthcare educator is so exciting for me. So exciting.
It is. And I got to tell you, I, as a therapist, I'm pumped about this course as we've created this. And you know, James, I had the honor of sharing the keynote stage with you at the Canadian Massage Conference 2 years ago. It's not about the fact that we got a standing ovation. The reason we did, I truly believe, is because we were putting this mission into action then before we even realized we were. It resonated so deeply with the people there. I really want to hop in and talk about the first course that you're launching on this academy, called Kinetic Chain Patterns and MPS Scar Release Therapy for Complicated Shoulder Conditions. If you struggle as a practitioner to treat complicated shoulders, it can be a struggle. I got to tell you, this course is revolutionary, but there's a story behind it. And I want you to share this powerful story, James, because we're honored that you chose our platform to premiere this. This has never been taught anywhere in the world before, but it's on our Better Together as One Learning Academy. Why this course? Why did you decide to create this?
Margaret, I was so inspired. I spent my whole career, 30 years, aligning with masters of bodywork, from chiropractors to PTs to osteopaths. And I was really tested. I was asked by a physiotherapist who took my course in Ireland to come to Kuwait. He was asked by his surgeon for me to come and treat his patient who was diagnosed with a frozen shoulder. And when I got to Kuwait, this was a really high profile family. So I got to their house and I treated her shoulder, just the shoulder, like many therapists would do. And shoulders are my specialty. And I got from about maybe 20 degrees of abduction to about maybe 130. Well, was very unhappy with that. So I had to step back and pull from everybody I've ever studied from for the last 30 years. So I had to check into some of total body balancing techniques from Dr. Carrie D'Ambrosio, where I looked at every other part of the body except that shoulder. And then I got some good results with that. But then when I used the Dolphin MPS Neurostim that I learned from Kelly Armstrong, which blew me away because I did the rotator cuff injury, I did the frozen shoulder protocol with that. And as soon as I did one session with the MPS, the humor had dropped. I was even like, oh my God, thank you God, my prayers have been answered. So long story short, the physio was there. Then the surgeon asked to meet with me. He said, whatever you're doing, we need to know this. He said, I host the biggest shoulder conference literally in the world in Dubai. 300 surgeons from all over the world will be attending, and you need to come and be our presenter on prevention of shoulder injuries, prehab and rehab, and looking at the kinetic chain, because this lady that I treated had an overpronating foot, bilateral tibial torsions, iliosacral torsions. She had a scoliosis, kyphosis, spinal stenosis, but her chief complaint, of course, was her shoulder. The nerve pain was coming from the neck. The nerve pain coming from the neck was coming from the sacral torsion and the overpronating. And what's beautiful about this course is we brilliantly combine kinesthetic, visual, and auditory learning so that however you learn, like my daughter struggles a little bit with autism and dyslexia. So she doesn't learn by reading, she learns by interacting. And so she can watch a video, she can watch me do hands-on, and she can repeat that experience, and she has it for a lifetime. She can't get that from a textbook. She cannot get that from a video alone. She has to have the interaction. She has to be able to field the questions. I have to cater to that visual, auditory, all three learning styles throughout the presentation. And that's what I love about the way your team put this course together and took it way beyond what you would see in a DVD experience or a classroom experience.
Well, thank you, James, for recognizing that, because we are really passionate and committed to bringing top-notch e-learning. And we have to commend you and welcome you to the digital age. There's nothing wrong with having a DVD, but as practitioners, we want to take that iPad into the treatment room and be able to take your brilliance and use it in an active way with our patients. Here's the other thing we're really excited about, because on the Better Centers of the Learning Academy, we're also going to give people the opportunity to connect directly with you. All these years and thousands of students that you've had from all over the world, James, it's very difficult for you to interact one-on-one with them because it's just impossible from a time perspective. Better Together is one not only has a learning academy, but we have a digital online interactive magazine that you've written in and will continue to write in, where people can actually send emails directly to you and have them answered by you. And then, of course, we have our podcast where you're going to be a guest on, and we're going to share information, not just for therapists, but for everyday people, because at the end of the day, you're changing people's lives with the work that you're doing. And then, of course, our virtual and face-to-face conferences. That's what Better Together is about. And you leaned in, my friend, when COVID hit and said, I surrender. I don't know a lot about online learning, but you have come up this huge steep climb with us. And we are beyond proud of this first course, but this is just the tip of the iceberg, because there's so many more courses that you're going to be offering there. So let's just talk very briefly about what people can expect to learn in this course. I know Monica did an amazing job on the manual that goes side by side, a step-by-step guide, which is incredible. But let's tell practitioners what they're going to walk away with, because it's a lot.
You know, I think the time of treating one injury, when we've had a lifetime of injuries, we've had old surgeries, old scars, bumps and bruises. I think the thought of treating a singular body part has kind of gone by the wayside. So I think part of this learning is going to be what's going on with all the other joints and muscle groups in the body, a quick check. What's going on with this is how many scars have you had? When I met Kelly Armstrong, I had a hip replacement scar. I had a mountain biking accident scar. I had so many things that were causing tensegrity pulls, and my symptoms were totally away from the cause of my pain. So I'm helping people take what I've studied for 30 years, the highest level of what I've learned, and I'm making it so user friendly, step by step, scripted out. This is what positional release is. This is the new clinical studies on frozen shoulders. This is the cutting edge of what you could possibly learn about all the areas of the body that can make shoulders complicated. They're actually not complicated, but it can make them complicated.
Exactly. And what I also love is that you're going to be able to do case studies with people, and also have live webinars, James, where they can come. I know I've taken some of your courses, and often it's difficult to have one-on-one time with you. Tell us a little bit about how excited you are to have these live webinars.
You know, the biggest thing people have asked me for the last 20 years is, can I call you? Can I email you? And because I'm on the road 45 weekends a year all over the world, I run that all through my office staff. So people do not have direct access to me. And I felt sad because I thought, you know, if I wanted to call up Eric Dalton, I can do that because I know him, because he's a colleague and a best friend. I can call up Carrie. In fact, I called Carrie D'Ambrosia from Kuwait and said, I need some more information. This first treatment didn't work. You know, I can call Kelly Armstrong and say, but I want the entire industry to have access to colleagues and mentors and people that can fill that gap. When it's not working, you need to back up. A mastermind is looking at it from a different set of lenses. And so right. I want this industry to be able to mastermind, call their colleagues, and not say, well, the chiropractor is doing this, but the PT is doing this, but the athletic trainer is doing this. We all need to be on the same page. So there's nothing better than your mission about Better Together is when we need to be integrated. And I believe it will change the future of manual medicine in the face of medicine.
Oh, thank you for recognizing that. You just described exactly what our mission is, to break down those silos where we can work, learn, and grow from one another. And that includes our colleagues in conventional medicine. The fact that you're going to be lecturing to a group of surgeons, that fires me up, because at the end of the day, we all share one common vision, and that's to improve the outcomes of the patients we're treating, and not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. And I know your work is so powerful, James, and actually has an impact. As you were saying, the body is all interconnected. You know, those scars impact our physical well-being. But when we work better together as one, we truly get outcomes. And this is what we want for the future of therapists coming into our profession, and those of us that have been around a long time, to be confident to learn and grow from one another. So I know that I see that we've had some technical difficulties. Unfortunately, she's there, but we can't see her. But we want to continue because this is very, very exciting. So if you're watching, you want to go to bettertogetheras1academy.com right now, and you want to head on over there and take James' course. You can register. You'll have access to that course online for 3 months. Of course, you can have the DVD as an augment to that course. And James, you've been so generous in reducing the cost of that because of COVID, which I want to thank you. One of the things I also love is that you're saving people money and time. Right now, people perhaps can't afford to travel, or maybe they can't travel because the borders are closed. They can take this course and improve their skills while they're home before their clinics reopen by simply going to Better Together Academy or bettertogetheras1academy.com. How exciting is that?
And you know, Margaret, even the surgeon in Kuwait, he said, if you cannot make it, this information is so invaluable to this group of 300 surgeons that somehow we need to have access. Or my friends in Australia who want me back, or Ireland or Scotland, I can't get back there. And this information has never been taught anywhere in the world, which makes it even all the greater reason, the way the interaction is and the way it's laid out and the way that they can take test questions and the way they can, you know, send questions. And then once a month we get online and we do Q&A and we do review. I wish I'd known this before, because I probably wouldn't travel 45 weekends a year around the world.
Right. You know, and that's the thing. I mean, as therapists, we cannot wait to be able to connect live face-to-face with one another. But until we can, and even once we can, to enhance the learning. So if you're a student of James's from previous, you're going to want to hop in and take this course. It is going to be an addition to your library that you do not want to miss. And as we said, this is just the beginning, because James, you're going to be bringing more courses to our academy. If you are an educator out there, as James said, we're better together as one. We need to learn from one another. Reach out to our Better Together as One team. James, I'm sure you'd be willing to share your experience so other educators can realize just how amazing it can be to go completely digital in a multimedia rich and engaging way.
Well, Margaret, I know that there's a lot of colleagues that are just throwing up online courses. They're just getting and they're experimenting, and it's not going that well. The content of this course would take me 3 days to teach live. The way the interaction is set up, and I could have never done this without a team of experts. The way the interaction that you can interact is set up that you will walk away with the same information as if you took a 3-day live course. But I've never figured out a way to do that, to break it up in sections and segments and testing and interaction, to be able to give you that same feel of being with me for 3 days. So the content you'll get out of this e-learning course, this amazing course from, and I want to give credit to the colleagues of Carrie D'Ambrosia's work, allowing me to introduce you to that work. You know, Kelly Armstrong blows me away when it talks about scar tissues, and I'm glad you're bringing her into the Better Together as One concept, because this has been my vision for, I think it's been everybody's vision. God, if I could only pick that master's brain, if we could only mastermind and look from all these different lenses, what do you see? What does Margaret see? What is the next colleague see? And what does the chiropractor see? So now I'm thinking, this is just, I'm like a kid in a candy store. I just cannot wait for this interaction throughout the world to be able to happen through programs like this.
I am so excited as well, and you're absolutely right. And the last point that I want to make before we let everybody go is that when you take a course with you, James, you're so gracious, as Monica had mentioned. You give so much in a classroom. But for some learners, it goes fast and it can be overwhelming, and then it's like, oh, what did I miss? Yeah. Here's the neat thing about online e-learning with the Better Together as One Learning Academy. You can stop and start. You can learn at your own pace. You can revisit. You have the opportunity to connect with James one-on-one in live in webinars. And you get to have that access for up to 3 months. And then if you really want to add to that, you can buy the DVD as well. So we've got everyone covered. And I can't be more excited to have you be the one to launch your Better Together as One Learning Academy, but we can't wait to see where it goes. So for all of you listening, please share this video and be sure to head on over to bettertogetheras1academy.com. Check out James's course, some of our upcoming courses. You are going to start to see more and more courses coming on as we populate this amazing learning academy to share the brilliance and to learn and grow from one another. James, thank you, my friend. I continue to learn from you, and I cannot wait to share your brilliance with the world.
Thanks, Monica and Margaret. It's a blessing to be part of your team. I really, really mean that. It's an honor.
Well, thank you. And Monica, I know that you were having technical difficulties. We miss you, my friend, but we will be back again with some more interviews, not just with James, but with other educators on the Better Together as One Learning Academy. Until next time, be well.